Alrighty, welcome back to the stream, and welcome back once again to another game dev stream where we're going to be creating the world's BlockBall clone, a Pong clone called BlockBall. Yeah, that's all I can really say about that. So, last time I finished off with making an AI. So now you can play the game by yourself. Oh, right, before we get too far into it, of course, before I forget, you are currently listening to StreamBeats. This is the lo-fi playlist as per usual. So, last time, oops. Oh, I messed something up here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that AI. It's playing the game. It's fighting me. It's playing. It's doing the things an AI should. Because it's only reaction speed and has very low predictive speed, it's actually very bad because I can just do this and the AI will constantly bounce all over the place like that. So really, my strategy for fighting this particular AI is just tag it like this. A lot of corner hits. Or rather, not corner hits, but like edge of the paddle hits. Because that's what throws off the AI a lot, since it doesn't have a reaction speed high enough to be able to react to it perfectly every single time. Just like that, see? Oh, it actually blocked it that time. Alright, one more point. Oop, it got it. Also, I'm glad I got to see my fix for the ball getting trapped against the wall worked. Oh, now I get to wait. I should also make it so that when it's score subtraction, it just scores on the person on the other side. Although, again, that's mostly a holdover from... That's mostly a holdover due to, sorry. It's very intense ponging going on here. That's mostly a holdover when I was planning on making expanding it up to the point where it would allow for more than 2 players, which is why it's programmed in such a way that only the last scorer hits, so that no matter who it is, like, I guess it would work better if it was like a health bar. Actually, that might work better. That'll be later on. Anyway, it works. That's the thing I wanted to get. AI is in. It works. You can play by yourself. Also play with friends. Eventually, I will add online multiplayer, but that's not going to happen for some time, let's say. Also, I'm going to turn on the music because it's actually loud on this song. There we go. It says the lo-fi playlist, but this is louder than I was expecting it to be. Anyway. Also, of note here, I've got a small thing for level creator. That is not going to be implemented for some time. That is mostly for my own benefit, because I had the idea of like, okay, so let's say I wanted to add in a level creator that would allow me to dynamically generate rooms on the fly without having to create, you know, however many rooms. How would I store that data? What would it look like? How would I access it? And this is what I came up with. You have level, you know, whatever. That would be the room. It would be whatever address I want to give each of these things. So let's say I had a game with 10 rooms, and I can go levels 0 to 9, and that would cover all 10 of those. Then we have object types, I would pick, let's say, object wall. Or, let's go here. So I would spawn in like object ball, object collider, object paddle, object scorer, that sort of thing. Whatever it is, I would index each of those object types to a specific value, so I would know, okay, 1 is a wall, 2 is a ball, 3 is a paddle, etc. Then, for each instance, I would store a number of variables, which would be like the X position, the Y position, scale on each of those directions, collision stats, that sort of thing. And all the code would then just loop through this big multi-level array in order to set everything up in the room. It might take a little bit of processing power to chunk through it every time the room loads in, but it means I could, amongst other things, dynamically generate any room of any size with any number of objects, doing any number of things, with any number of properties, whenever I want. This isn't exactly like a big impressive thing. It's just kind of something I wanted to see if I could figure out how to do it, because the only other option was like doing code execution, which does not work because it's a security risk. Because if someone can load in a custom level in a game, they can also load in a custom piece of code that says store all emails or whatever. Anyway, that's not what we're working on today. What we're doing today is we're working on a novel idea I had. And we are going to call it... Okay, let's actually rename this. We're going to do rename BlockBall base. So that'll just be stuff for the normal BlockBall game. Normal Pong, whatever you want to call it. That's what that's going to be. So, we're going to make a new to-do list. Where... No, there it is. Alright, and this one is going to be called to-do BlockBall. Okay, that... Can't name it that. That's unfortunate. Okay, how about to-do BlockBall? There we go, that's valid. And the reason I'm calling that I was going to be block/ball because... It's going to be like a joke about Fate, Stay Night, or whatever, but I have to go with block, semicolon, ball, which is the follow-up that the closest thing I can use on short notice, because that's used for Steins Gate or robotics notes and such. The joke is I'm going to make a visual novel, okay? I'm going to make a visual novel for Pong. That's the joke. That's the gag we're going with, okay? That's why I said novel idea, because it's going to be a visual novel. Okay? Are we set? Cool. So I've actually been thinking a little bit about this, and I mentioned it sort of in passing prior when I was going like, I wonder if I can make a thesaurus. So there's two parts to this. First, I'm going to make all the parts that would actually be used for a visual novel, and there's two reasons for doing this. First, BlockBall is effectively zero story. It is literally pure gameplay. It is the purest gameplay you can get. It has no dialogue. It is just you control, other person controls. That's it. Game. There are very few games with less, let's say, story to them. Even in an abstracted form, it's just you versus opponent. Here's thing, score. Something like checkers or chess. Chess has a story to it, you could say. You've got different pieces with different abilities. Checkers has two kinds of pieces with different abilities. Like there's more to it, but Pong really has only you and your opponent and the ball. And the only thing that matters is hitting the ball into the opponent's place. Alright, so let's make a note here of things to do. First, we're going to make script to make text fit inside a text box. So that's actually going to be probably the most important thing, Because if I have a text box of any size, I want to make sure that whatever I put into that text box will fit width-wise. Height, not so much. Doesn't matter as much because theoretically I will just expand it down to fit. But I want it to fit, I want it to wrap around properly. And this is something I can actually use for my bingo board as well. When I have the squares and I fill them up with text, I can actually have it wrap around properly so it fits in the box. Right? I know this is possible. I've actually seen a script to do this. Let's see here. Text wrapping. How to wrap text around text box spray and make a portrait. Anyway, the idea is just to make straight. What? Oh, okay, there is a script for this. It's if I go to GML scripts, I'm not going to look at this. It's called string word wrap width. But basically, I can just I can get it. I can do it. So let's make a script to fit text inside a text box. Okay, so word wraparound. Right, that's the first part. Second is we're going to have to store dialogue. That's the easy part. Storing dialogue is easy because all I have to do is just make a big old grid and just track all the data in there. But let's see. I guess what I would actually have to do is, let's see. I've got to draw up the dialogue box. I've got to fit the text inside the box. Right now, it's just going to be working on the visual novel actual mechanical part of that. Fitting it into Pong is a later issue, or BlockBall. I don't think I can call it Pong in any legal sense. It's BlockBall. Okay, so also this is not going to be PvP. This is going to be versus an AI because I don't know how I do a PvP visual novel. I don't even think that's possible. At least not in a single computer. Okay, so you got that. Another thing I want to do is I guess we can figure out good format for storing the dialogue and relevant, I guess, what is it? Relevant. Dialogue and relevant variables. So I've got to do stuff like next line variable. So if I want to do like a choose your own dialogue thing, I can choose like which line does it go to, which line does it look into, that sort of thing. Dialogue choices. So next line variable, already read for skipping forward, because most good visual novels have a like text fast forward button, and ones that don't are terrible because it means you have to just mash your button all the way through until you hit new dialogue. I'm looking at you, visual novel that came out like last month and doesn't have basic quality of life features. I'm not gonna name it, but God, that thing was just like, it was trying way too hard to be funny, and I did not smile in that entire experience I had with that game. It was trying way too hard. Alright, next line variable, already read. We've got a backlog. So I've got to figure out a way to store backlog information, which shouldn't be too hard. I think that's doable, but... Okay, so we got... Yeah, I think that's good there. So dialogue choices, and then, for the game... play... Oh, right. Figure... Okay, so I guess it's figure out how to abstract movement over a indeterminate period of time. Okay, that's a... Okay. So, the thesaurus for the dialogue generation, that is because I want to do a sort of... What's the best way to put it? I want to do a randomly generated dialogue thing, so it's not going to be totally randomly generated. But for example... When the ball hits the paddle and flies off, the text would be like, as I watch the ball moving away from me, I feel a sense of relief, knowing that at least my time has not yet come. And then, for example, I would be able to swap out the my time has not yet come would be swapped out with, like, defeat has yet to arrive, or certain of my victory, or something like that. Like, it would swap out different parts of the dialogue chain for different phrases that would fit in there in order to make it so you don't have the same text happening over and over again for however long you're playing this game of Pong. That's basically the idea there. But first, let's do the hard bit. So, first, let's get over here. Script, create, script. Let's call this skirt, and we're going to call this, text wrap. All right, and I'll be right back as well. Hold on. Okay, so let's call this text wrap. And we're just going to put in text. Maybe txt. Variable text wrap only referenced once. That's fine. All right, so the text is going to be a string. Actually, I guess what it should be is it should be a string plus width. Hey, Minbron, how you doing? How's it hanging, brah? I'm doing alright. How about you all? Sounds nice, nice, nice. Are you ready for Wednesday? Ooh, awkward. Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. That reminds me, should I download the new demo? I've got the regular demo downloaded still. Like, is there any difference between the current demo and the, like, demo I already had downloaded? Ah, fair enough. I should probably delete the old demo. Oh, fancy. Okay. Actually, let me, Oh, there's an update for it. Perfect. Ah, okay. Very cool. So that means, I guess, I won't be able to beat the... I won't be able to beat the, Curse Crackers demo percent then, because it's been updated. I guess we should update that one too, huh? There we go, Curse Crackers is updated. I'll have to try that out a little bit. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Wednesday. Very exciting. Alright, okay, so... we got the string in, and we got the width, right? So what I need to do is I need to go... string... in... and I need to do, hold on, it's like string... length? Okay, ooh, also, you know what I should probably do? What's the new line character for... Okay, there's escape character to mark a new line. Okay, new line is... I'm just going to write it right here. I'm just going to write it right there so I have it handy. Also, it's not string length. I don't want string length. There's like a string pixel length that I want. Not that. Okay, yes, there's two. String width. Okay, there's string width and there's string width X. Now, what's the difference? The function will return the width in pixels of the input string, taking into account any line breaks the text may have. It's very handy for calculating distance between text elements based on the total width of the layers that make up the string, as it would be drawn with draw text using the curly defined font. Okay, let's, hold on a second. I'm gonna see what happens if I do this, because I don't remember what's broken with this particular... error in step number 1 for object controller utility. Unable to find instance for object index -4. Object controller utility. Okay, it's in step event. Okay, for object controller utility, unable to find instance for object index 4. Ah, of course. Right, I think because the player input thing has been switched around. Yeah, okay, that's it. So... yeah, master controls I need to look at real quick. P inputs 0, P inputs 1. Yeah, so let's go object master control. It's alarm step. Okay, so what did I do for this again? Input P, right. So input P, God, I forgot how this worked already. Okay, this is all fine and good. For loop, W, player inputs. Okay, where's the player inputs script? String var. Player input W, argument W, which is the player count. Ints master controls. Hold on, okay, what's the problem with this again? What is the problem with this again? Error in step, action number 1 of step event 0 for object controller utility. Unable to find instance for object index -4 at script input line var input P. Controller object input P0. I mean, I don't need this thing right now, technically, but I'd like to have it working in case I need to do more controller shenanigans later. Gmail script player inputs line 11. Var input P is controller object dot input P P0. I'm just gonna copy this. Okay. Gmail script player inputs. Line 11. Input P, controller object, input P, P0. Input P is equal to the controller object. So what's happening when it's calling the script. That's the problem. It's the control master dot input p0 for that. Object index -4. I think I might be inputting the string wrong here, and that's why. Okay, p inputs w. Is that. That's the string. That's the string being inputted. So that's the string being input. W should be 0. Ints master controls is... That is the control master object. What does it mean index 4? Index minus, for object index -4. Okay, you know, I'm just gonna... Time being, I'm just gonna get rid of that. Just so it works. There we go. So I no longer have any of my controller information, but at least the test room is opening. That's good. I'm gonna have to figure out why that works later. I just don't know what's causing that. Like, the worst case scenario is I just rewrite the entirety of the control utility. Which is not the worst thing to do, but that's like, I don't want to do that because it's a whole thing. It's just a whole thing. I don't want to deal with that, really. At least not right now. I'll probably do that later, after I've done with more paperwork. Okay. Close this one as well, I think. Alright. So, for the time being, for testing... I am going to, let's see here, I'm going to create, no, I want a draw event, draw GUI, and we are going to draw, let's draw transform value. So, caption, I'm going to create a thing right here, and I'm going to use a code block, and we're just going to make a string. We're going to make a variable called string. And that's going to be equal to some string I'm going to define. Let's move this to 100. 100, and we'll make this to 2. Okay. Then, I'm going to draw a transform value underneath that. Make it 100 and 200, and we are going to go with, it's going to call that width, and we are going to call that string width string. Okay, now for the time being, the string is going to be, let's say, I like apples. So I like apples with 117. So let's say I like apples and tomatoes with 225. And if I drop this to 1, is it 225? It is 225. But what happens if I change... If I change the font, for example. So I have it set to Arial, which is not... Okay, hold on a second. Let's get a new font in here. Well, that's another one. How about 18th century? No, that's not. 28 days later? Yeah, that's fine. There. So it was 225, so let's see what it does now. 180, because it's shorter. So it looks like it's based entirely on... Ooh. Other idea. What about... set... Is there a way to set the font size? Text alignment, set font. How do I enlarge fonts? Oh god, I have to use specific font sizes? Ugh. So it would be like, I create a new font here for Arial, for example. Which is Arial, let's say 24. Like that. So if I change it to font Arial 24, should be 357. Because it's not a perfect 2 size increase. I actually don't know how font sizes work. 176. Okay, wait. 176. 357. It's slightly larger than 2 times. Slightly larger. Very, very slightly. Okay. Okay. I don't really need either of these fonts, but I'll just keep them there, because why not? Good. Okay. So that does seem to work. So, what happens if I do this? Is that going to read as a string? No. It does 178. Is that the same as this? 170. I wonder... Hold on a second. Oh, wait, I think I know why. Okay, so let's get rid of caption, because that's throwing me off a little bit. Okay, so that makes sense. It's slightly wider. So if I do... like that... it'll be 170. Look at that. Hey. So what happens if I go text align, horizontal, set text alignment? And let's go with center and middle. 170, which is I like apples. All right. Good. Problem solved. Sort of. So let's... I'm also going to change this real quick. Horizontal line is going to be left. Vertical can be middle. That's fine. Right. So back to my script here. Width can be set as a maximum width, or it can also be set as, you know, the box width. It can be variable. That's fine. Now, I guess this is going to actually be running... I guess this will actually be running per step, I think. Anyway, it's not string length, it's string width. The function will return the maximum width in pixels of the input string, taking into account the line separation and line break width, which is defined as the number of pixels the string can occupy before the line break is inserted. Right-handed for calculating distance between text on base and maximum width of a string that's split over several lines. Okay, what's the difference between these two? What's draw text X'd? Ah, you can set lines, you can set spacing between lines, I see. Okay. All right. So, this is going to repeat while string width in is greater than width. I'm also going to run a count here just in case. So let's make a little count variable. Count equals 0. I guess do var count is equal to 0. Count plus equal 1 if count is greater than or equal to, let's say, 10. So that means there's 10 line breaks being made, which is a very large thing. Break. And return str out. Okay. So this will be its own thing just at the bottom as a gate, as a guard, just in case I have to do a lot of line breaks for whatever reason. Also, I'll be back in a moment. I just had a really stupid idea, which is completely unrelated to anything I'm doing here, but I'm going to write it down before I forget. Oh, there it is. If I ever make a lot of money, I'm going to have to do that. Because I don't know how much it'll cost me to build that thing. God, would it be worth it, though. It is so stuffy in my room for no reason. Anyway. Back to what I was doing. So, it'll take the string, and as long as the string is larger than the width given, it'll keep running this script. So, it'll go, I need to find a character at a pixel location. So how do I find a character at a string character at okay, hold on a second. Maybe if I do like string character at returns the string value at an index location, which is not what I need. String position, substring to look for in the string, no. String pos ext, start position, substring. Okay, so here's my idea. What I'll effectively do is what I'll effectively have to do is I'll have to run like another loop inside this one that'll count from the start of the string, and it'll go like, okay, it'll create this string. It'll create this string. It'll copy like each word in the string up until a break, which will be either a dash or a it'll be a dash or a period. Or no, it wouldn't be a period, it'd be a space. So let's just stick with spaces. Is there a character for space? Isn't there an escape character for a space? I doubt it, right? Backspace is /B. Interesting. Oh, I know what I can do. I can search for a space. So string replace. String insert? No, it insert to substring. That's not quite right. Okay, so maybe string delete. I guess it'd be string delete. And then string insert. And insert. So it'd be like delete. Insert /n. And that would just replace space with a thing. Okay, let's try this. So, let's see if I can figure this out. So, we gotta go like that, and then while string is running that, okay, hold on. I gotta okay, I have to find substring. Gotta find the substring. String position of the substring. Wait, does insert overwrite? Okay, and var last break. Because that'll track when the last break was, so I can use that to choose a substring location to start from. String pause X'd. Yes. Substring string start position. Keep in mind that for legacy support, strings are indexed from 1, so 1 is the first position in the string, not 0. Okay. Substring. Okay, so if string position does not equal 0. Okay, so we've got... Okay, so we do... Can I do string width for a substring? Is it possible to do string width of a substring? Okay. So I guess I do. Okay, so just for basics, right? It would be string pause ext. The substring would be, let's go str in string. Oh, start position would be last break. So this would actually be this. So I'm looking for any space in string in, starting from the last break, which is 1. That's what's going to happen. Then it's going to go up and it's going to give me a result, and that'll be okay, I want to get this string up to a certain amount. Substring in. Okay, so substring in is going to be string in up to that point. So how do I copy a substring out? Go back to strings. Hello world, blah, blah, blah. New line, test break. String copy. String copy. Position of the first character in the string to copy from, numbered from 1. The number of characters starting from the position of the first to copy. So it would be substring in plus string underscore copy. String in, starting from index. I guess it would be last break. And I don't know what the count would be. I guess this would be it. It would be this, right? This will be var, I don't know, space pause. I don't know, I'm just kind of throwing things out here to kind of get it out. Okay, select numbers in the string to be copied to another one. First character in the string is always indexed as 1 and not 0, as you may expect. So copy the first character of the string, it would be string 1, 5. Would that work in that case? Because like going back to my example here, right? It would be if I did the break here. If I did apples right here break, it would be let's see, while string width is greater, so var space pause. So it would copy character 1 and then would read this one as, yeah, space position is at 2. So it would read 2 characters. You character 2 characters, and then it would go okay, and then it would do do something like if string width sub something like that. So the string substring is bigger than is so I actually then we'll do something like last break is equal to N1. It's confusing. Okay, so let's just think about this again. First, starting off, you go, okay, looking at string, finding the first space. Okay, this is too big. My width is, let's say, 170. I don't want anything longer than 170 or 130 or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So let's say I'd have to do break here and here and here. Actually, I wonder, what happens if I do this? What does this give me as a width? 115. So let's set 110 as my test value later on. But for right now, we're going to set 130. Do that because neither of these functions work right now. In fact, they know nothing. What the fuck? What just happened? Oh god, did the stream break? What just happened? Okay, hold on. Did it break? I need to check. I have no idea what just caused that. Okay. I think it's working. What a pain. Okay, so I think it's fixed. I don't know. I don't even know what actually caused the issue. To be on the safe side, I have updated my graphics driver. So hopefully NVIDIA doesn't crash again, because I think that is what caused it, but I can't say for sure. So it's really just best guess at this point. We'll just have to see. Fun. God, what a pain. Completely threw everything I was doing off. Alright, right, what was I doing here? I was trying to work this nonsense out before the stuff crashed. I don't know what I'm going to do with the VOD. I managed to recover the VOD I had previously recorded, because I always locally record all these things. It's missing the part where the stream broke. So, I don't know. I might have to do a hybrid thing where I download the VOD from Twitch as well, just in case there's bits missing. What a pain. Okay, let's see here. So, God, I completely lost my train of thought after that. Okay, so... While the string width is larger than that, it's going to do the substring. Okay, wait, so... Okay. I think what I should do is I should use string out as the main thing I'm actually like measuring against, and then use substring in to just add on to the end of it. So that way at any point I can just like effectively get rid of substring in. Like it doesn't matter, it can just go away. And then just keep string out and use that to do the stuff. Okay, so... So if it's less than the width, let's say, then do this. Else break. I guess I do that, right? I really don't know. This would probably be within its own thing, too. I know what I can do. I know what I can do. Forget this. Forget all this. Do a for loop. Var, let's go var s. Var s doesn't matter. Is equal to last break s less than let's just make a, I'm gonna make a thing here. I was gonna call it var len. There. Built-in stop. So then this will be like, if, so it'd be like, what are we, string position? In that case, I might even need to do this while loop. Let's put this here instead. So for that, if substring in, so string position. No. So if, so if string underscore pause. No, that's not it. A string character at. If string char at string character at string in s is equal to r is equal to a dash. There we go. Hey, look at that. It's very. This is something I'd want to like write out on paper just so I have it, so I know like I can run through the loops, physically looking at it and making notes instead of having to work with script. If that is, if this character there is equal to space or a dash, then it would be the easy way to do it would just be replace it with a thing. But I guess it will be... Is string length going to give me a... What is string length going to give me? Yeah, 1 is the first character. String length is going to give me number of characters. This is a... Okay, this is a real number. It's not a... so it's going to be 1... It's going to be 1, because it's counting. It's counting numbers. Because, okay, yeah. So this would be less than if string started at 0, but it doesn't. It starts at 1. So this actually has to go less than or equal to the length. Okay, so we're going to do that. This is going to need to while loop. This will need to while loop because I'm going to have to increment last break up in order to get the string to sort of do this. But it's still doable. Still doable. So if for var s is equal to last break, so that'll start at 1, and then that'll go to... So that's character 1, then it'll go to 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And so on. Okay, so then we do that. So that would be if string is a break character, then substring is equal to substring in plus string copy. There's a string. Wait, what? Which one is it? Ah, there it is. Yeah, string copy. String index count. So it would be str in starting at index number last break up to s minus last break plus 1. Because if it's the second character here, s is going to be 2. So s starts at 1. S increments up. It's not going to pass this, so it moves on to 2. S is 2. Right here. So S is 2. It is a break character, so substring is equal to substring in, which is nothing currently, plus string copy from using this string from last break, which is character 1, to S minus the last break character plus 1. So that's 2 minus 1 plus 1. Okay. Maybe this should be last break plus 1 to start. So S minus last break plus 1. S is going to be 2 to start. No. So last break is going to become equal to S. Okay, so let's assume this works. Let's assume this works the way I think it does. Because I think this will just keep incrementing up. Cause it wouldn't really matter. Because effectively it would just be like, last break is set to S. Okay, well S is now just last break plus 1. Well, I don't know. Because that would go... This is going to be 2. in that case. Last break will be set to 2. I don't think it'll reset it here. I'm pretty sure it doesn't recreate it. But it will be useful for tracking, so I'll just keep that in there. I'm pretty sure this will work. Okay, so we do that. Last break gets set to S, which becomes 2. So S gets to... Okay, so S... Let's say S is 2... Yeah, it won't do this, because it would set... If it did, it would reset to 0 every time if I had a var. So it's not going to do that. It's just going to be for tracking. S is less than length, which is whatever. S plus equal 1, so it's now 3. 3 is L, whatever. It's just going to keep going. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Character 7. Character 7 is that... So character 7. 7 is another break character. Substring is going to be equal to the previous substring, which is I space, because the string copy goes last break, which is 1, to 2 minus 1 plus 1, which is 2. So those 2. So now it's going to go substring in plus substring copy string in last break, which is 2 to 7 for 7 minus 2 plus 1. So 6 characters. Because it's character 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So it's going to start at 2. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. 1, 2. So it's going to start at 2, which is not right. 2 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what about if I did S minus last break instead? If I did S minus last break, if I did the first one, it'll be 2 minus last break, which is 1, so it only copied the first character, right? If I did S minus last break at character 7, it'll be 7 minus 2 for 5 characters, starting at character 2. 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which go to there. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 minus 7 is 7. So we'll start at character 7, which is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that is how I do it. That is how I do it. Okay, so substring, do that. Last breaks get set to S. And then... Okay, no, this should be string out. No, hold on. There we go. And substring in should actually be this. Run through another bit of code. That's what it should be. Look, it's hard, okay? I can't... It's not my fault that technical difficulties just happen to swoop in and take me away like some valiant prince on a white steed, carrying me off into the sunset as we gaze longingly into the future we have together, our eyes meeting like the blazing fire of a hearth on which we lie covered in rugs and fur pelts and stuff, making forget that I am a princess who is betrothed to another. But no, let my heart not soar yonder. Let it remain here, where I can forevermore remember this moment of peace and passion. The prettiest of... I'm just saying, I could totally write a Harlequin romance novel. I'm just saying. Nothing stopping me. I read light novels before. I could write a bad light novel. It's not like I would have... Actually, no. I would have a lot of competition. Ugh. A lot of competition. The Japanese light novel space is trash. There's a lot of good stuff. But by God, is there a lot of trash, too. I always say... The Japanese creators are some of the best in the world, but also some of the worst in the world. You have incredible, fantastic, unique worlds with fantastic fun ideas and fun characters and good writing. And then you have endless piles of the most derivative schlock imaginable. Droves of it. Endless oceans of it. I'm not saying that we don't have that in, like, Western countries, but, like, Japan has a lot of endless drivel, which gets really popular for no reason. There's millions, probably. No, not millions. There's hundreds of thousands. Maybe millions. Of, like, trash teenage girl romance with monster pretty boy books because of Twilight. There's probably, I mean, I know there's at least 50 Shades of Grey, but there's like, when I went to Borders one time, there was a like shelf that was labeled young adult or teenage supernatural romance, and it was just like, here's the character banging werewolves, here's the character banging vampires, here's the character banging mummy, here's the character banging a fairy. Here's the character banging Thor. There was a couple of those. I remember those specifically because, like, they all had a meaty hand holding Mjolnir on the cover. But that's one bookshelf. If I were to, like, try and collate all the light novels that are just, like, one specific genre of schlock isekai, it would be a section in a library. And that would just be like singular volumes of each one. If you try and get all of them on there, you're not fitting that. That's a library by itself. Just the trash isekai of... The trash... villainous in an Otome game, reincarnated as a villainess in an Otome game, where she has to forestall or break her engagement with her prince fiancé before the main character actually causes her to be exiled from the country, but then everybody accidentally loves her while she's doing that. There are so many of those. There are so many of those. Not all of them are good. Some of them are good. Some of them are actually quite fun. But there are so many that are just garbage. That's not even the worst genre. Like, the majority of those kinds of ones are, like, fun or decent to some degree. But, like, that's, like, the outlier. That specific sub-genre of sub-genres is, like, the one that has the highest quality ratio. It's goofy. Like, there are multiple manga series which feature the main character, Katarina Claes. There are at least 2 I know of, possibly 4. if I'm remembering correctly. That is how, like, much there is. I don't even want to get into, like, the other shit, because I've read a lot of trash isekai, and there's some trash. The worst one is cell phone. In another word, with my smartphone. That one fucking sucks. And here's why. Unlike every other trash isekai that exists, they all stick to their core conceit. Even if the core conceit is just, I'm a bad person, or I have the ultimate superpower, or whatever, they all stick to their core idea. Whatever it is, no matter how awful it is, they keep that core idea going. In another world, my smartphone is the only one I've seen where it's just the guy gets all the superpowers and all the girls and all that stuff and just throws the basic concept away. The basic concept is he has a smartphone. He uses it like 3 times. There are a lot of things you could do with a smartphone in a fantasy setting. You could use it to take pictures. You could use it to look up information. You could use it to play music at a concert. You could do many things with a smartphone. And people would go, wow, that's amazing. How are you doing that? That's crazy. And instead, they just toss it out. He has a literal smartphone with God's phone number, just tosses it out of the plot, and just decides to stick with good old-fashioned, I can literally use every magic. That's his superpower. It's not the title of it. It's not the core conceit. It's just a thing he can do. He's the bestest and the strongest and the smartest. It's awful. I've read a series which is literally just described as, we want the redo of Healer Crowd for our audience. And that at least kept to its core conceit. It's trash. It's the worst one I've ever seen. It's awful. Like, it's not awful because it's a bad story or whatever. It's awful because it fails at its own genre, which is like the lowest possible bar you can achieve. Is what I would say, but then, like, I remember plenty of people don't do that in games either. Anyway, that's enough of a diversion from trash isekai series. Back to this. I was on a roll here. Okay, right. Okay, so I think I should keep this previous break character location. Instead of being a line break, it'll just be like break character, which will be space or dash. There. Okay, so let's go this. So if okay, let me see. Can I do this? If okay, so I've got to do like Okay, so... Okay, so if we do that, then... Okay, so if we do that, then it would be what? It copies the previous space. It starts at the previous space. So it would be replace. It'd be string replace on the first character of the string. Substring within the string to be replaced. No. I don't want to replace that. I want to replace string at character. Actually, you know what? I could just do string delete. So it would be... substring equals new line right there plus string delete substring in character is 1, count 1. Okay. And return to string, yeah. So, theoretically, what this should do... Okay, so if... Blah, 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 substring. Okay, so if the string width of those two strings is less than the measured width that we're going for, then string out is equal to this, plus substring in. Else, substring in gets modified, so the start is a new line, and string out is equal to string out plus substring in. All right, and then last break gets updated to S. Now, the only problem there, of course, is that it means that if at any point string out has a singular word which is too long to like fit in there, everything after that point will be a new line. Okay, so let's try this. Return. Let's just do that for the time being and see how this goes. Oh, right. Yeah, that's fine. I can just do this too. Okay. So now that that is set, let's see if this works. So this should wrap it at every line, theoretically. Okay. Cool, we have a problem. Variable object test string out not set before reading it. It is though. It's literally set right here. I don't. What's the problem? Oh, God, that's why. Duh. Problem solved. I like apples and... That's curious. Okay, that's 115, so 130 should have done it. Okay, so there is a problem in that case. So, like, I like apples, and this shouldn't be this long to begin with. Apples should be its own line. Maybe apples and, but not I like apples, then that. Let's run this. Okay, so we've got last break, yep. Oh god, I stepped out of the function call. Whoops. My mistake. Okay, so, yep. So last break is set to 1. Substring in, set to that. Length is 25, is the number of characters, okay. String out is set that. So for var s is last break plus 1. S is less than length. S plus equal 1. So string character at S, which is true. It passed the check. String character in I like apples and tomatoes at 2 is true. So we have this. String copy, substring in is just I. So if substring string out is equal plus that is less than the width, which is true. String out becomes I. Last break becomes 2. So S and that. S is now evaluated at 3, which is not a character. Now evaluated at 4, 5, 6. Or it should be 7. Yeah, there it is, 7. So 7, substring. Substring I is now space like. So if string width of this plus space like is less than the width, which it is, string out is now equal to I like. Line break gets upgraded. E L E S. So S is now at 14. Apples and tomatoes at 14. Substring in is now space apples. String width which has been evaluated to be less than that, which I don't know if that's true. I don't feel like that's true. I don't think I like apples is less than 130 pixels. It might be. Okay, so we do that. A and D. Okay, it went to else. So, substring end has now been line breaked and so the string out is now I like apples and oh, I see what the problem is. I see what the problem is. Because it only works at a break character. It doesn't do the final letter. I see. Okay, so real quickly, let's just test here. I like apples. And tomatoes. Oh, whoops. It's 170, yeah, so that's way too large. Yeah, okay, that's what I figured, so it's not going to be quite right. I also need to figure out how I'm going to do with the final one. That should do it. So let's just check. This should give me the 130. Or at least it should have tomatoes show up. There. Perfect. Okay. I guess the other way to do it would just be to go like, okay, how many breaks are there? Break everything up into word plus break following. As an array, and then just combine each part of the array until you hit something that is too large. That would be a goofy way to do it. It'd probably be simpler thinking-wise than this. Although I feel like it might be a little too much. I don't know, we'd have to see. Is there any benefit to doing it like that? Is there any benefit to basically having the entire thing stored up in an array? No. I feel like there isn't. It would just be like... It would basically just be a... What I'm basically doing here is I'm basically doing this all in line. It's more complicated to look at, perhaps, but it doesn't mean that I'm taking the string, converting it into a different format, then reconverting it back. I'm just sort of taking the string, breaking it apart, and then working directly in that sequence. I'm not doing multiple steps back and forth to translate it. Translating it is simpler to think about because it's very easy to just go okay, first step, break everything up, put it in the array. Second step, put everything back into its place from the array. But I feel like that's more processing power or something. I don't know. I don't even know if it like would be a significant amount. Like, I don't know if it'd be worth it or whatever. I just don't. Anyway, so the problem right now is I need to, let's define a temporary variable right here. Test string is going to be so this should do it. No. Why? Okay, let's find out here. What is... What isn't it outputting properly? Why is it... Okay, right, I need to do, like that. Nine. What? Oh, pixel width. Right, of course. What the fuck's going on the screen here? Oh, Jesus. Okay, I see what it's... Oh, I see. That's annoying. Oh, why does it keep doing that? Okay, let's turn that one off. There you go. Now you can see. I don't know why it does that. Okay, so we got that. So right now it's pixel width of 9. So if I press play, it'll go to pixel width of 54. Then a pixel width of 117. Then 153, which is 130, so it's greater. Oh, are you? I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. That was the problem. Okay, now why isn't it doing it in tomatoes? And tomatoes should be... Tomatoes by itself... Oh, because it's bypassing it. Of course. Right. Course. Right. There. Problem solved. I like apples and tomato. Okay, I guess I should just copy this whole thing over wholesale since that is going to cause issues. Ta-da! I like apples and tomatoes with a width of 115. All right, now let's do... See what happens if I do this. All right, it basically is doing the best it can. So if I set this to like 90, for example. No, not 190. If I set to 90. Okay, how about if I set it to... Let's set it to 10. Now let's set it to 5. Why not? Interesting. It can't actually pick up the first one in that case. Oh, of course. Because it's the first character. Of course. So in the singular case that this is the first character, so in the singular case, in the absolute unique singular case that the box that you're looking at is so small that the first character is not allowed to be printed, that'll happen. That is a hard-coded singular situation. All right. I don't need this tracker variable anymore. Hey, text wrap is done. Woo! So now we can do funky things. So, for example, let's write some dial. Actually, you know what? Let's lorem ipsum it up. Let's get some lorem ipsum. I'm not going to copy the whole thing because this is a lot of text. Actually, you know what? Let's copy the whole thing because it's a lot of text. I can't even read this. What am I even looking at? God. Okay, you know, let's do this real quick. Just do that. What the? Okay. I'm gonna copy this again. Let's go to Notepad. Can I do this? No, it does not like that. As it turns out, it will not accept multi-line breaks like that. I've got to do it manually. So, go there. /n. Yep. Hold up. What? Just delete the whole thing. God. Okay, so \n. 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 Okay, there's the whole lorem ipsum. As a single line of text. Let's see what it does. God, that's awful. Okay. We're gonna up that to, let's change that to, I don't know, 200. No, actually, I've got big text space. Let's call it 800. And we're gonna go into the GUI, and we're gonna set that scale to 0.5, I think. And we're just gonna see how that works. Hey! That's pretty decent looking. It's, kind of tall. Oh, you know why? Because I did middle. There we go. Lorem ipsum, ladies and gentlemen. 905, I would have to guess. I don't actually know why it's 905. Should be 800. Let's do 905. See what happens. 1018. Oh, of course. What am I talking about? It's because the relative scale of the thing. That's why. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't it be a larger number? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, that's lorem ipsum approved. Yeah. I don't think I need... Yeah, I don't need to do anything with the breaks because those are already sort of being implemented. Well... Yeah, I don't need to do anything with the breaks because those are being implemented directly. Yeah, because as part of the string... when it's being inputted in here, the test actually comes here when it's implemented, so that new line would actually be thrown in right there at some point. So that will do it. That takes care of it. Hey, lorem ipsum. Hey. Nice. All right. Well, screen rack text is done. Nice. Solved that problem. Also, I'll be back in a moment. Okay. Hey, that did it though. That's pretty much the thing I wanted to get done today. That was like the big one for me. Like this is kind of a big deal because this helps me finish. Like this is the most important part, really. doing this means I don't have to worry about dialogue at all. I can just write whatever I want and index it and do whatever, and it'll just load in perfectly fine, assuming it's not too much text for the box, which is a whole separate issue, really. Oh, I should probably make a note here. Backlog, already read. Actor. Person talking. Dialogue type. Full screen text. Or text box at bottom of screen. Because sometimes, depending on the visual novel, there's like full screen. Like, let me see if I can pull it up, right? Is there one of these that isn't going to give me the porn? No. Thanks. Okay, let's go to Dial Town. Okay, so here, just as an example, here's a picture of the dialogue box in Dial Town, right? I've been playing this. I played this yesterday. And you can see that they've got the dialogue box at the top bottom. You have the characters in the scene with different actions going on, right? But then also you have games like VN dialogue. You have stuff like this. Like, this is from Fate Stay Night, of course, where the dialogue is just covering the screen like that. It's those two things are better for different situations. This is for more of a situation where you have characters who will be talking to each other a lot. So it's very important to always keep like a hold of what's going on in the scene and who's talking, and characters can enter and leave. And it's all about like the sprites moving around on the scene instead of the background. Whereas for Fate Stay Night, it's much more lengthy, descriptive. It's like, it's closer to reading an actual novel where you have pictures. The backgrounds are less active. It's not that they can't have like sprites moving around, but they're generally less active. It's more focusing on the description and the dialogue and that sort of thing. It's much heavier on the text. So I'm thinking I could probably do both of these. No problem. Like, it would just be, that's why I have dialogue type. Full screen text, like Fate Stay Night, or text box at bottom of the screen, like Dial Town. Oh, also, I forgot I actually turned off the game capture because it was breaking things. So, hey, check this out. Ready? Ready? Lorem Ipsum, baby! Yeah! Okay, dialogue type. So I guess actor, other actors in scene as well. I could probably, emotional state of actors. Because that's one thing that VNs will do as well. They'll have like, the character will have like, let's say 3 or 4 different sprites. And you'll have like the angry sprite or the happy sprite or whatever. Oh, Doki Doki Literature Club. That's another one. Not that. I mistyped. Like Doki Doki Literature Club. How did that one do dialogue? There you go. I think this might have been made in Ren'Py. Like, see, like that. That's how the dialogue, and you have the characters with the different sprites that have different parts of their faces and different hand motions and what sort of... It's all doable. It's all doable, but it is a lot of work to do so. And I hope by the end of this process, I'll have a full VN. Writing aside, not necessarily written. But like functionally in terms of mechanics and programming, it'll be there. That's my hope. So I'll also have to. This is the easy part because I can just do add flags. Like that's the easiest part of the whole thing. And then for the save system, that would actually be very easy because you just have a save. You just need to output a small file that tracks I guess it would just track flags, it would track current dialogue line, and then it would track I don't know, would it track like text skip things? Maybe? It would be doable. It would be doable. Save file. Track flags. Track current dialogue line. And then track which already read line tags are present. Could theoretically actually skip this a little bit by using chapters. So you can have like... I could have like an array. What it would do is like array listing addresses of the affected lines. Target those lines and set flag and set red state to 1 on reload. Which actually I don't know if that'd be the best one because that might be maybe keep those global instead. Because theoretically I would be able to like target only lines that have already been read in that save file. Just by, like I said, doing right there, just making an array that constantly expands and just when you load up the save file, it would go through the array and go, okay, this line has already been read. It'll go to that line and it'll change the value to 1. So you know it's already been read and it'll just skip right through it next time you go through there. Which doesn't make any sense because if you're reloading, you'd be past that point. So those... Yeah, so instead I would just keep those global and then just, I guess I would have to like export the dialogue section as its own thing. I don't know. It's a consideration that'll be made later. But first step, we have the text wraparound done. Round of applause for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. So what next? What will be next? I guess next would be building up the actual dialogue part. I got my lorem ipsum set. Actually, let me make a let's make a note here. Let's call this rename lorem ipsum. And we're just going to go here. I need to get the test object. that's a single line. I don't need to do this. There. Now for multi-line, in case I want to pull out specific parts of lorem ipsum for this. History. There we go. I don't care about the history of lorem ipsum. I just want... Why is this even a... There. There. Lorem ipsum. Lorem ipsum salts. Good for waking you up if you've fallen unconscious. Alright. Anyway, that takes care of that nonsense. I now have a lorem ipsum generator. Woo! I'll just add string. I'll just put a blank thing there in case I don't want it, which I don't. There. Alright, let's disable and disable. Q. Alright. That takes care of that then. Alright, next is... Okay, so like I said, next time is going to be generating... I've also got to add the thing back to the room, actually, don't I? I'm going to have to figure out how to fix that. And I really just don't know what problem is there. So, next time... we're going to be making dialogue windows, which is... I don't know how well that's going to turn out, actually, come to think of it. Because that's going to be like spriting and sprite work and stuff, and we'll have to see how that goes. I may, for the backgrounds, I may just rip assets from something. I don't know. Is there a freeware visual novel? Probably not. Freeware open. Is there an open source visual novel? Okay, that's visual novel creators. There's Renpy. There's itch.io pages for this. There's Twine to Renpy. Renpy accessibility add-on. Love Story Writer for Windows. Ren.js for HTML5, even though it's JS, so it should be JavaScript. Monologue Generator 2000. What? What is this? What is this? Bring your character to life by using this tool. You can automatically generate dialogue to your character. I am the sexiest thing walking the planet, baby. I'm just too. Then I took an arrow to the knee with Bowser. Damn. Your mind is, it's still alive. Your knife, no. Have my revenge. It's a child eye. Here alone, oh Atreus. Along with him, he always leaves. I don't think this is very good. I don't think that's very good. That does not seem very good. There's a browser-based one on here where you can create a visual novel in your browser alone. All right. Anyway, that's all for later. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I might just export it into 2 chunks and leave it like that, because I kind of don't feel like getting through and cutting it together so it fits. Maybe I will, though. We'll see. Anyway, that's where I'm leaving that for today. Got a little bit of work done. Yeah. Dialogue windows, next step, definitely. That'll be that. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening, what have you. You have, again, as always, been listening to StreamBeats. This is the lo-fi playlist, even though it's quite loud at times. But hey, what are you going to do? Anyway, that'll be that. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening, what have you. I'll be back tomorrow with Pathfinder Around the Righteous. Woo! See you there. And if not, see you next time. Bye.